one more thing I forgot to do is to take this reflection intensity from 1 to 0.4. So now this material is done. Let me assign it to my chairs, to my network editor, hit up, and for my chair 1, I'll just load the wooden chairs part, and I will do the same for chair 4. I will go to Material tab, and here I'll assign the wooden chairs part. Now let me go and create the red part of my chairs. So let me go back to my material palette, and here I will create a basic surface material. I'll just drag it to my chairs material tab, and then I will rename it to red chairs part, and in its parameters I will change its base color to a reddish color. I'll make it 0.600, so it will be a reddish color. Then for its color map, I will attach the texture called JAPT to TRAD. I will take its specular down to 0, and that's all for this material. So let me now go and assign it to my chairs. I will hit up, and in fact now you will learn a little trick. It's that the materials you assign inside your geometry node will override the materials you specify in this field here. So now, for example, if I go inside my chair node and I assign a material inside there to some faces of my chair, this material will override this material here for the specified faces. So let me go inside my chair 1, for example, and here I will just hit tab, I'll create a material, and now I'll just attach my UV project 2 to this material node. Then I'll attach my material 1 to those 2 delete nodes, and for this material node I will load the new material I had just created, which is this red chairs part. I'll just select it here, and now you can see it covered all the chair, and it's because I didn't specify any specific faces to attach it to. If I go back a little bit up, you can see in this poly extrude node I created some groups here, so I'll specify 2 of those groups to assign this material to. Let me get back to my material 1, and here I will attach this material only to the extrude front group and to the extrude side. So now you can see that on my chair I have the wooden parts are still wooden parts even though I attached this material here, but on the faces I specified with those 2 groups I have now the new red material. So let me do the same for the second chair. I'll just take chair 4 and I'll do the same here. I'll create a material node. I'll attach the UV project 2 to material 1, then the material 1 to delete 1 and delete 2. And here also I want to specify my groups, so I'll take extrude front and extrude side, and I'll specify the material, which is this red chairs part. I'll hit accept. And now one difference you may have noticed between the 2 chairs is that here I have this Japanese writing on my chair, but here I do not have it, though I attached the same material. In fact, for the right side chair I didn't create UVs for this front part here, so the texture won't take effect on this chair because it doesn't have the corresponding UVs. Now I will create one last material before moving to the next part, which will be the material for this teapot handle. Let me go up, and I'll go back to my material palette. I will search for the tab for my teapot materials. Here it is. And I'll create a reflective material inside it. So let me create this reflective material. I will change its name to teapot handle. Then I will get its base color to full white. And here under its color map I want to attach a texture here, but in fact I want to use the same texture I used for the table, but I want to tweak it a little bit. So I want to use a cup network inside Houdini to tweak this texture a little bit to fit my needs for the teapot handle, and then I will use it as the teapot handle. So let me go up, and here I will create a cup network. So let me type tab, and I'll create a cup 2 network, and here I will go inside it. I'll hit tab, I'll type file to import my table texture. I'll click on this button here to import my table texture. I'll just specify it here as table.rat. I'll hit accept, And now to be able to see what I'm doing, I will go to the composite view, and here you can see the texture I've imported. Now I will assign to it 2 HSV nodes. I'll create one HSV node, then I will copy and paste it. I will connect my file node to the first HSV, then the first HSV to the second one. In the first HSV, I will take the saturation scale to 0.8. Then in the second one, I will take the saturation scale to 0.57. And if I want to see what I'm doing, I have to turn on this visibility flag here. So I will turn on the visibility flag, and you can see the changes I made on my texture directly reflected in my composite view. And the last change I want to do to my image here, let me create a bright node. I'll attach my HSV2 to my bright node, and I'll make it visible. And here I will take the brightness to 1.6 and the brightness shift to 0.15. So this is it for the changes I want to do to this texture. I'll just create a null node here, so it will be easier for me if I want to change something later in this chain. I won't have to repoint a new node each time. So let me just connect those 2 nodes, and I'll call this teapot handle texture out. That's it for the moment. Let me get back up. I will call this teapot handle texture, and then I will get back inside my teapot materials, and I will assign this texture to my teapot handle color map. So to assign a texture inside a cup network inside Houdini, all you have to do is type OP, then a colon, and then the path to the texture you have. So let me hit up. I'll just go inside here, and I'll go just on top of this menu here, and I'll hit Control L, and it will give me the path to my texture. I'll just Control C, go up again, go inside here, and just paste what I've copied here. Then I will copy the last part of the name, so up again, and I will copy this part, and then I will paste it inside here at the end of this line. And now I have assigned the texture I've edited in my cup network to this teapot handle material. Okay, now let me change the color map filter to Mitchell. I'll go to its specular, take it down to 0, and for the reflections, I'll leave the reflection intensity as 1, and I'll take the cone angle under ray trace to 7. Then I will assign to it a reflection mask, which will be my table rifle.rat. So I'll go here and I will assign this table rifle.rat. Now my material is finished. I'll go back to my scene view. I'll go back a little bit up, and here I will attach this material to my teapot handle. So let me go to my material tab here and assign this teapot handle material. I'll hit accept. So now if I get back to my viewport, let me deselect my teapot handle. You can see the texture appeared on it. And now I've done all the materials I wanted to do for this part, so let me just hit render for us to see the result. Let me go to render and render Mantra 1. It will take a little bit of time, so I'll get back when the render is done. Great! We've got a very nice render, very close from the final result, and in fact, what this render still misses are some tweakings, especially the displacement shaders on some materials and some render settings. So let me next tackle and explain the displacement shaders we need in this scene, and then after that I will talk about sampling in Mantra, and we will get the corresponding render settings for our scene.